Well, 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 well. Back again, are we? Hello?
Welcome back into the fold, Mr. Freeman.
Oh. Ah, piss. Am I back in Black Mesa?
Yes, you never left.
Didn't I? I went through a door. Didn't I?
You never left.
Am I still in the bathroom?
Yes, you're twitching on the floor as we speak.
Ah, damn it. I knew something felt wrong. Especially when the giant space baby came out. No, it was a trip. Anyways. Hello, everyone. And welcome
Hello.
to Lost Topic. Number 16. Sometimes that doesn't feel right, you know? Feels like there's been a lot more.
Our stream is now legally able to drive.
Yeah, it'll still crash.
It's
Anyways.
like what happens to 90% of people learning to drive.
Anyways, didn't have time to prepare many topics, did we? Sorry, we did have the time, we just didn't.
I think we were both very busy.
Yeah.
But
I do have one specific topic that I think might span across most of the stream, you know?
okay. Is it the
It was the last one I sent.
indie games?
Indie games, specifically Hello Neighbor. I've actually wanted to talk about it for a while, I just never got around to doing it, and seeing it trending on Twitter, thought, hey, this is the perfect time. Now, the reason it was trending was quite interesting, right? It was one of those general questions of the week kind of thing, like, oh, if you had to delete one indie game, which would it be? Right? And it was FNAF, Baldi's Basics, Bendy and the Ink Machine, and Hello Neighbor. And almost everyone unanimously said Hello Neighbor. Because, unlike all the rest, it had virtually no impact whatsoever and is a massive flop of a hype train.
Yeah.
Which is kinda weird, isn't it? Because it was just like all of them, in a way. It was an indie game, still in development, in the early stages of its life, and the first two alpha builds, right? The original pre-alpha and the first actual alpha build were widely considered absolutely amazing, right?
Yeah.
And it's astonishing. Like, people said Alpha 2 was also good, right? It is. But it kind of lost something along the way, right?
Okay.
And after that, it took a nosedive after that. Because the game lost their way.
I think it wasn't just that.
Yeah?
Well, okay, so you have this game, right, where, you know, people are playing it over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Mhm.
And there's this big mystery behind it. And for a while, it was really, really popular when it came out. And then it died.
If I may point out, right? I think it was entirely because of said mystery that it died. They were all too concerned with dropping in nonsensical lore, right, that no one was able to piece together, because there wasn't anything to piece together. It was constantly changing, and no one knew what it was. It was the improv that Scott was doing with the FNAF series, right? Because we all know, collectively, he probably had no idea what he was doing, and he was improvising through it all, right? It was that, but on an entirely different scale, and it did not make sense.
The other half of it is, I think they were trying to maintain the original story for the final release, and they were just throwing us bones every now and then because the mystery is what kept people going.
Yeah.
So instead of, waiting to release it, and just, people being like, oh wow, so this is the story. They
the thing is, right, like, the
yeah.
actual release of the game was almost no different than all of the alphas before it. Especially, what was it, the last alpha that came out before the full release. Yeah, it had cool cutscenes, and finally some answers to some of the story, right? But, all in all, it was just another alpha build in disguise.
Yeah.
Or the alpha builds weren't actually alpha builds. So that was cool. I think there's one big flaw with the entirety of their plan going forward from Alpha 1, right? Like I said, they were too concerned with the lore, right? And throwing bones to every single build, right?
Yeah.
When the main selling point of the game that everyone talked about whenever it was in pre-alpha and Alpha 1 was this neighbor is an intelligent learning AI. Think about it. That was what the entire pre-alpha was built around.
See,
was this is an advanced AI that learns when you get caught and figures out your route and tries to stop you from doing it. It can predict it. And it learns, which was super cool back when it came out. And if they just stuck with that, right?
They gave it the illusion of learning, though.
It was an illusion of learning, but it was still good. Nonetheless, it was good. Talking about Hello Neighbor, yes.
So, actually, I can talk about this topic. The illusion of progress in video games. So, for example, you are playing Halo Reach, right?
Yeah.
And you die, and then you go the exact same route. But if you do that, the Covenant will look in that area to make it harder on you and tell you to change things up.
Okay. Yeah.
You can't do the exact same thing over and over again because there's the illusion of a learning AI. It's not actually learning. It's
illusion or not, it was still amazing and interesting as a game concept, right? Especially for an infiltration stealth game, right?
Yeah.
Where they lost that, right?
The infiltration stealth.
I think Alpha 3 was the greatest offender of it. The Dark Alpha with the massive house that you had to parkour and, box stack all over the place to get through. Was exactly the point when they just dropped that entirely in exchange for... Hold on. Sorry. One, you never saw the neighbor, right? If you were going, like, say, even upstairs, right? You were not going to see the neighbor again, ever, until you're all the way back down to the bottom. You will never see him upstairs, ever, period.
That's weird.
Yeah, no, it's not, because the house is absolutely massive, and most areas are only accessible through parkour and, like, puzzles and stuff, right? So how is he supposed to? You get caught in walls and stuff, is what ends up happening. And he did. Combine that with the learning bit of him, right? So, you run through the front door, right? And you get caught. He'll say, place a bear trap there. Next time.
It's just basic monitoring.
Yeah, but it's lost. Because whereas it would be 1 or 2 originally, right? And you'd have to stealthily avoid them and, plot different routes carefully, he would just start spamming them all over the place. And there'd be no way to do that. You just run through, get upstairs, and then boom. every time you go through, it's just like it adds another 3 cameras there. It's crazy and dumb. And it's... I mean, the even bigger part is, right, the only place he really ever sets up cameras and bear traps is on the bottom floor anyways. So once you're in the upper floors, it doesn't even matter. There's none there. There's nothing there, so there's no point. It was just sad. And nothing really ended up coming of it. And it took the neighbor out of Hello Neighbor. You get what I mean?
Kind of.
Because you didn't see him.
it-
And the thing that made him interesting was basically nullified because you never saw him and he just overdid it tons.
Yeah. I mean, I remember there being like different bosses, like
The fear mini games and then the end game,
yeah.
which I'll give them this: the fear mini games were slightly interesting, but still not great, you know. But overall, right?
I think they made the right choice, at least for ease of access, when they made the secret neighbor thing.
Yeah, they did.
Because they were never going to have a proper AI. Like that shit is just either way too
Well,
difficult.
the thing is, right, is that they didn't even try. That was I think one of the biggest problems. The AI did not improve from Alpha 2 or 1. They didn't even work on it, period. They basically dropped it.
Like I said, that stuff is really difficult.
It is, but
So,
there wasn't even an attempt. Is the thing.
I think they had a team, right?
Hmm.
And that team doesn't know how to code AI. I don't think most coders know how to code AI. Like that's
Well, yeah.
that's just it. I mean, you could probably get like Code Bullet to do it, but most of the time code is just smoke and mirrors, where you know, some big wig up at the top is just like, we need a learning AI, and you are just like, that's not possible, chief.
I think, right, moving on a little bit from the AI, right, and to the legacy of it more, right, and what it left in its wake after the full release.
Okay.
Post, because I can't VC. It's fine, Tired. You don't have to. Nonetheless, also hello. Secret Neighbor, right?
Yeah.
One after the original release, the full release of the original game. Tons of disappointment. Just like, I think the general consensus was, this is it. This is all. Okay. And after that, right, Secret Neighbor came out. I can't remember what was directly after. I know Secret Neighbor came out, right? And was pretty okay. Generally, right?
It was basically Secret Neighbor.
Among Us, but Hello Neighbor.
Hello Neighbor, but Among Us, yeah.
And it genuinely was pretty okay.
Sora, apparently, people can't hear us.
I'm looking at the audio bars. We're fine.
Oh, Tired can't hear us. Okay.
Yeah. After it came out, what was that? Just talking about, you know, the things that happened after, but Secret Neighbor, right? It was good. It was actually pretty okay. I think there was another after it, right? That was basically a lot of mini games, and you were basically hide and seek the game. right? Where you were two kids. I can't really remember most of it, right?
Yeah.
It was interesting. It was interesting. But
Uh-huh.
it was just kind of It kind of just faded in, faded out.
Yeah.
And then I think the gravest thing happened. The absolute worst thing that could have been done was done in this situation, right?
What did they do?
They made a pilot for a TV show.
What?
Yeah. It
No,
wasn't
just move on from that point. You made. Oh my goodness.
Hmm?
No, it's just. You made a video game. It was semi-successful. You don't need to make a movie.
It wasn't a movie. It was
Yeah.
a pilot to a TV show. For
Okay,
it.
don't make a TV show based off of a
And-
failed video game concept.
And right there was lore in it, right, and suggestions that there was something deeper going on behind the scenes, when really there wasn't really. It kind of wasn't. And there was I think it was supposed to have a lot of comedy, right? But a lot of it was, I believe, there was a video I watched a while back that alerted me to all of these spin-off things that were created, right? That I didn't know about before. A lot of the comedy boils down to saying something ridiculous, right? And then saying they wouldn't. Basically just doing ridiculous things, right? And then pointing it out. Or saying something ridiculous and pointing out. Wasn't really much there, right?
Right.
And I think the funniest bit is, right? What you know how brands have like this like specific people to run their Twitter accounts, right?
Yeah.
The person who was running the Tiny Build Twitter account at the time, after the pilot came out, constantly adding MatPat saying, "Can't wait to see MatPat's reaction to this," and basically trying to beg him to make another game theory on it.
Dear.
If I remember correctly, he was fired promptly for doing that.
Yeah. I think.
And I remember there was another thing that happened after that, right? Where they made another spin-off game. Another one. Called Hello Engineer. And it is exactly what you think it is. It is basically just Scrap Mechanic. But Hello Neighbor, which I don't know why.
I actually thought it was the neighbor as the engineer
No.
from TF2.
No, it's basically just vehicle challenges.
I see.
It's challenge mode of Scrap Mechanic, but Hello Neighbor themed for whatever reason. But there is no reference of the neighbor to my knowledge. They did announce something that's gotten a lot of people actually excited this time around. They have started development on another Hello Neighbor themed game, right? This one called Hello Guest. But the difference between all of these is that it's actually what the original game was. A stealth horror game where you're trying to invade someone's house. Right?
Interesting.
And the thing that makes people really excited for this and really promised, or like and making it look really promising, is the fact that it looks like they're actually focusing on the AI again.
Oh,
To
okay.
make it feel like this is its home. And that, it learns from what you do. And it's really cool from what I've seen. It's really good looking right now. Or last time I checked. I'm excited to see if it will be, or if they'll recapture the energy from the original pre-alpha and alpha 1, right? Because if they do that, I think there will be a lot more success for it. Honestly. But I think because of the full release and all of the spin-offs and how abysmal the series has been, this franchise of games,
I feel like they've sort of dragged themselves through the mud a little bit too much.
yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
And I think that Hello Guesses, even if it's good, right, will have a lot of people just never touch it ever and slam it because of the full release of Hello Neighbor and all of its spin-offs.
Was it actually Tiny Build that did Hello Neighbor?
I believe they were the publisher.
They were the publisher.
I can't
Which
remember.
sucks because Tiny Build were the people who did No Time to Explain, that really, really silly game where it was just you traveling back in time to say, "Oh, I don't have time to explain. You gotta get moving." Blah 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 blah. And it was a good comedy game, but I didn't really see much else
Well,
from them.
the thing here is, right,
Yeah.
they dug their own grave with this. And they're
Yeah.
continuously digging, trying to pivot themselves somewhat upwards instead, but failing miserably at every turn.
Which really sucks.
But moving on from Tiny Build to someone that they were very close to and actually partnered with for a very short amount of time before they promptly dropped and left.
Okay.
Yandere Dev.
I'm sorry, what?
Did you not know that?
I didn't.
So at a certain point, right, during the semi-high point of Yandere Simulator, right, Tiny Build approached them and
Okay.
offered to publish the game. And actually gave them coders and stuff. Due to Yandere Dev being Yandere Dev and not liking the fact that his code was fixed and not spaghetti, promptly left.
Wow. Tiny Build version of Yandere Simulator anytime soon?
No. They backed far away from that mess, especially after 2019. They backed away from something that spontaneously combusted. But it's genuinely interesting, right? Because I don't know if anyone else knows this, but Yandere Simulator is apparently complete now. No joke. Done.
Does anyone care?
No. You want to know why? Because it's not. It's not. Never will be. It never will. Even when it's done, like it says it is now, apparently. It will never be done. I know nothing about that game. Good on you. Genuinely. Stay as far the hell away from it as you possibly can. Because it's a dumpster fire that if you even touch, you will just begin to, you will yourself spontaneously combust, apparently. As many fan games have learned the hard way. Genuinely, it's crazy, right? Do you know how many Yandere Simulator games have been made at this point? Like fan games and like remakes and people trying to outdo it, right, have been done, and all of them end up basically the same way. It is wild. It's genuinely, people joke about it, but I genuinely think this is just a cursed genre that people should stay the hell away from at this point. As interesting as it would be to see it done and see it complete. Because it is an interesting idea. I do actually like the idea.
You know what it is?
What?
Yandere Simulator is basically just Dishonored but anime themed.
If I remember, Yandere Dev himself, right, said that the reason, what it is supposed to be, right, is Hitman combined with Persona 5.
That's a better way of putting it.
Yeah. And
But the thing is that when you're a shit person, the thing is they basically invented the genre, the yandere
uh-huh.
thing, right? The
Yeah.
whole school ground, you know, your
They I wouldn't say they made it. They pioneered the idea of the style of game it is.
they
Right.
pioneered the indie dev portion of it.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh,
No, not really. Because this is after Indie Boom, right?
oh,
This is a bit after Indie Boom, especially because I believe FNAF came out similar times to it, I think. But they didn't really pioneer it. All they really were, right, was the orchestrator of an idea of Persona 5 plus Hitman in a Japanese school. Right. The problem,
Right.
I think, mostly comes from, one, the man-child behind it, and two, some very suspicious gameplay problems. Well, not problems. They're intended features, which is the problem. And generally just time. And I know that gets brought up a lot, right? And I hate it. But it is entirely true. Alex, right? The creator of the game. Is... specifically on the time bit, right? It's entirely his own fault that it has taken this long, and I think he knows that. I think he absolutely knows that because he is absolutely terrified of finishing the game. Because once it's finished, people will stop supporting him, people will unsub from his Patreon, and will just not want to give him money anymore because they got what they wanted. Right?
Okay. So, here's what Yandere Dev needs to do. They need to say, I need to start over.
What? New
I'm
alias?
starting- No. I'm going to start the game over.
I think
it's
all that will do is kill him, basically. That is going to kill him for good and just wipe him off the map.
I don't think it will. If he handles it correctly, if he's like, listen, there are so many problems with the game that I can't sift through the code to fix it. I am going to start over and do it right. Right? Not that specifically.
Yeah. While that may be the case, at this point in time, right? Do you know how long it has been in development for?
like 8 years, pretty much.
About. So, for that amount of time, and he hasn't, from my knowledge, he hasn't remade the game from scratch at any point, really. To my knowledge. Maybe once. To say, I'm going to wipe everything and start over at this point in time,
I never said he was.
after they released the demo of the game, finally. The proper demo.
I never said he was going to wipe the game, just that he was going to start over. So basically...
Nonetheless, people are immediately going to say, well, I'm done. That the sunken cost fallacy or not, after like 8 years, after 8 years, to only be told that they're going to restart and probably take just as long, would that not just finally kill it for you? There are people that have been waiting since day one of its initial release to now. How long do you think they'll still be waiting before they finally give up on it and
Okay.
realize what kind of who Alex is?
Sora, you know this, I know this, but you fail to understand the mindset of the internet simp.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care if it's gonna take 8 years or 82 years. If they believe in something, they will support it and back it 100% of the time.
You want to know why it's so hard to believe that in this specific instance?
Oh,
It is because of those fan games I mentioned. You remember that?
are they outstripping it?
They won, right? And as horrible as the situation is and how horrible the drama is about around it, right? I'm not going to be talking about the drama around this specific game because it was a hot garbage mess. But there was a game being developed heralded as the final killer of Yandere Sim called
Okay.
Love Letter.
Oh,
And what it was touted to be doing is completely remaking the code of Yandere Simulator in under 2 weeks. Bringing that game to almost the same level as Yandere Simulator in 2 weeks. And it was heralded for a while as finally something to jump ship onto. Because Yandere Simulator is a sinking ship. What this was to people was a lifeboat. And it was hard to, even for me, I wanted to play that at the time. I definitely wanted to see it continued. The problem is, it died the same way most fan games of Yandere Simulator die. In the same way that Yandere Simulator is currently getting killed because of
which is
drama. Even whenever games are silent, even when fan games, Yandere Sim fan games are silent and don't say a word, there is underlying drama somewhere in there and it kills it. On the spot. Love Letter just happened to be the biggest and one of the actual biggest dumpster fires seen because of how public it was and how many people had their eyes on it. But I think the thing to point out here, right, is what happened whenever it was being touted as the killer, right? People almost immediately jumping ship from Yandere Sim, finally. And because they saw a new project, it was like, okay, I'm realizing now that the person behind this project is a dick and generally doesn't know what they're doing, and jump to another game. And I think that's very indicative of what will happen. How many fan games will it take? Right, and this is my question, right? How many fan games will it take before one of them finally sticks the landing and does what Yandere Sim wanted to do better and is Yandere Sim?
I don't think there will be one because of how much drama there was around, well, this.
There's always drama around it. There's always
yeah.
drama. Drama
But I
has
mean,
always
like,
been known.
If no drama happens for the next 20 years, a fan game could arise that could, surpass everything, as long as,
It wouldn't
doesn't-
even have to be time-based. The only thing they'd have to do is keep their mouth shut about it and develop it in the background, not saying a word, not showing a word, nothing. Make sure no one but the team you're working with knows, and make sure that team actually can be trusted and will actually develop the game and not screw off because of petty drama. Because that's what it boils down to.
Don't try to hype it up. Don't do much until you are like a week from releasing. And
until the game is rock solid and nothing could kill it, right? And nothing could start drama that could kill it. Mouth shut, keep it completely silent. Because that's honestly gonna be the only way you can get through the hellfire that is Yandere Sim. Is just one indie game, one development team, even just a single person, to make the game and then release it. Without any drama or anything. Not letting a single thing happen. Hell, even if one thing happens, if they can push through it and continue, unlike all the rest, then that's it. It's basically over. That is a done and done war. The Yandere Sim is gonna be bested at some point or another. The reason I say that is because Yandere Sim will never be done, unlike the fan games. At one point, one of them will be done. But the thing is, right, Yandere Dev. Something that can be seen with a lot of these, right? A lot of these problems in a lot of these games is Yandere Dev's interference with them. Because he knows that he will be outdone eventually. But he's desperately trying to stop people from doing it. So he'll bitch and moan until they disappear or stop.
And so if they do it under the radar and then post it and are like, "Hey, I finished Yandere Dev's game for them."
A lot of the time, right? I remember Love Letter, right? Another bit of their drama, right, was after unveiling it, Yandere Dev kinda got upset and started doing things. I'm not gonna get too far into what he was doing, but nonetheless, they were not good things. And eventually, Love Letter came falling down due to other things. But I remember there was a very specific instance. A game called Watashi no Mono, I believe. And it was, once again, the exact same as Love Letter was, heralded as the Yandere Sim killer. And it was going to be this big game that was gonna finally, beat it. And it was all being backed by one guy. But got basically shut itself down because of the Yandere Dev. And the creator losing, the will to work on it. And thus the game died. And it makes you realize that just Alex knows that at some point or another someone is going to come around and do what he's doing but better. But he will fight tooth and nail to make sure no one does.
Basically, that's his job at this point.
If he can't finish it, no one can.
Honestly, I feel like we need to start like this campaign of internet funding, right? Is pretty much what Yandere Dev gets most of his money from, right? There needs to be a campaign making people aware of if they aren't putting it out, if it's been this long, stop supporting them. Just stop.
You want to know why?
And that goes for everything. That goes for everything because there's more Yandere devs out there.
Yeah, there is. But what I have to say about that sunken cost fallacy, it was promising for the first 3-4 years. And that's why people are stuck, because people have been investing money into it for 3 to 4 years. And thus sunken cost fallacy, and we are here.
Okay, but they aren't like. These people, right, who are supporting Yandere Dev and other Yandere Dev-esque people aren't supporting people with actual ideas, and so you get this horrifying situation where actually creative and talented people are falling by the wayside because they can't hack it in a market where all you have to do is make sure that nobody replaces you.
Yeah. The thing is, right, it seems like almost anyone who is heavily involved with doing things with Yandere Dev, right?
Yeah.
Like anyone who is involved with covering almost solely Yandere Dev, right? Just alongside him and the fan in the fan games, right? Spontaneously combust themselves. No matter what happens, if you get heavily involved into Yandere Dev, you are going to explode. You are going to be burning and in the same position that he is in. Which is just... It's cursed, is what it is. Yes, Tired. It is an actual cursed thing. There was one instance, right, of this one guy that I watched a bit of. The Gaming Sleuth, I believe. And after some time, right, he was time after time, you know, hitting Yandere Dev and poking them and poking them and poking them, with videos, right, not actually poking, spreading misinformation about him as well, and because of that, thusly after, everyone got a wonderful feel of "I told you so" from Yandere Dev after everyone found out that the Gaming Sleuth was lying about a bit of stuff.
Oh joy.
And it seems like anyone who gets involved with Yandere Dev just has it blow up in their face. The same as everyone else before them, and the main people in that problem, and the Eye of the Storm himself. And it's weird. Also, Tired, I appreciate the art.
What is Tired? What is Tired done?
In Lost Topics. Hold on, I'm gonna bring it up on stream because honestly it's really good. Hold up. Boom. Once again, an absolutely amazing piece from Tired Arts. Our lost host. Where did they go? Where are they? Have you seen this, Tired?
They're in error.
Anyways. It's weird. I don't get it. I don't. You'd think it's Albert Einstein's definition of insanity at this point. People are doing the same thing over and over again, looking at each other, doing the same thing over and over again, and watching it blow up in each other's faces, but then still doing it yourself. And I don't get it. I don't. I don't know how this keeps happening. It's just annoying.
It's a vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle indeed. You want to know why?
Why?
I speak from someone who, up until 2019, liked Yandere Sim and Yandere Dev. And it hurts especially for me because I also was thinking, right, that it'll be out eventually, you know? It's just under the same exact lies that was told to everyone else around that time. And the more and more I look into it, right, it just hurts more and more. Because I know a younger me is very upset. If they saw what like would happen to it in the future, right, they would be very upset. Because as terrible as it is, right, Yandere Sim is very, very closely linked to YouTubers I used to watch. Right?
Yeah.
Specifically, do you remember, you know Grian, right? The builder Minecraft. The really popular Minecraft builder on Hermitcraft and stuff.
No, I don't.
He's a very popular Minecrafter in Hermitcraft, often associated with people like Mumbo Jumbo, right?
Oh. Oh, okay. I recognize that name.
Yeah. If you go back to around 2014, right?
Yeah.
There was a series being made around that time that I loved to death. And I still rewatch it every now and then, just because of how much I ended up liking it. And it's a genuinely wild series. If you've never seen it before, I would wholeheartedly recommend watching it. At any point you have time to. You should go and watch a YouTuber called Sam Gladiator. And their Yandere High School Interactive Roleplay series. Don't get that name wrong. It was totally a clickbait series name. But unlike the rest, it was a little different from the rest of this, the roleplay series on YouTube around that time that were covering the same thing. How do I explain this in a way that will make you understand? Like, the 5th episode involves the teacher committing suicide in the classroom.
What?
After the main characters break into his house and claim that he killed his wife.
What?
Do you understand why that would be a little, that it's not some, super cringy terrible series. It is an actually dark as hell freaking Minecraft roleplay, and it's hilarious.
Jesus Christ.
It is an absolute ride of a series. And it went on for like 2 seasons. I say that because it's split up. And genuinely, the end of the series, right? It changed from Yandere High School to Tokyo Soul for its 2nd season. And the ending of Tokyo Soul, right? Genuinely still one of the most heartbreaking and best endings to any Minecraft series I think I've ever seen. Unironically. I would absolutely love to watch it with you at any point in time because it is an actual masterclass of both comedy for me and just storytelling. For what it was, right?
Yeah.
It was definitely higher above any other roleplay series around the time. I think the most depressing part about it, though, is what occurred after it, right?
Oh.
the creator of it, right? There were 3 people that were directly involved with it and were the main characters of it, right?
Okay.
The point of view we have, the point of view character we have for, recording, Sam Gladiator, the YouTuber who records it, right?
Yeah.
The other main character, right? That was there from the beginning, Tortoise, which still vaguely around, but I don't know what they've been up to of recent. And then Grian, who was introduced way later down the line as a cameo at first, and then stuck around a lot longer, especially for Tokyo Soul. They, to my knowledge, aren't friends anymore. At some point after Tokyo Soul, they just weren't friends. And no one really knows what happened, to my knowledge. And it's just kind of weird. And I'm still curious of what happened to this day. But it's a part of my childhood that no matter what comes out in the future, right, I'll still absolutely love that series. It's one of those very few things, right? Do you ever have one of those series in your heart, right, that you're absolutely terrified of, oh, the creator's gonna come, be exposed at one point for being an absolutely terrible person, right?
Okay. No. And I'm gonna tell you why. I grew up in an era where people weren't getting canceled for being terrible people and creators.
Okay, but so did I. I'm just scared that the reason I'm scared of it, right, is that if anything comes out in the future, right, it'll make people a lot less inclined to go back and look at this amazing series. Is the reason why. I'm not scared of it affecting my perception of the series or the other series that he ended up doing, because it was a hard-coded part of my childhood and I love that series, period. There's nothing will change that.
What you are afraid of is...
What I am afraid of is not being able to introduce it to other people.
Because it's considered taboo.
Because it is considered, or the person behind it is considered taboo. Which is a shame. Because it is such a wonderful series that I genuinely, if anyone wants to see what Minecraft roleplay could be, if done in an interesting and good way, point to that. Because it is. It's amazing. But
I have to take a look at that, because, you know what I'm trying to accomplish.
yeah, and I honestly, like I said, I will watch it with you all the way through. I kid you not. It is that good. I don't care. Any excuse to rewatch that series is amazing. It's just... It's... It's an amazing series, and like I said, if anyone is ever interested in it, please go watch it. I don't want to spoil the ending, and I won't spoil the ending, because genuinely it is something best experienced for yourself. What I can't say the same for, right, is what the series became after Tortoise and Grian left. I said Tokyo Soul was the ending, but the thing is, Tokyo Soul had its own 2 seasons. Right?
Yeah.
And the second season of Tokyo Soul, after the original ending of the first proper series, right? It's something. There is there was a dynamic, right, that the 3 original main characters had that is not really there this time around, and it makes it infinitely less enjoyable to me because of that. Which kind of makes me upset because I do want to watch it, and I want to give it a chance, but I just can't seem to because of my attachment to the previous characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it sucks. But it is what it is. And honestly, I'll probably at one point later on end up watching it fully, finally. But it's probably gonna take some time, still take some time for me to adjust to that change, and it still hurts. Anyways, enough of my ramblings of indie games and Minecraft roleplay. Anything you have to add?
I am actually. Yeah. I'm afraid the same thing is gonna happen to like anything that I endeavor to do. Is there's gonna be this one person who starts drama or is the cause of drama, and
It'll tarnish the name.
it'll tarnish the name. It will basically just ruin it for everyone. And I don't know how to handle that. I try.
Honestly, right? If there is someone you think will do that, and I hate to say it, right? I don't like it, but it is sometimes the truth. If you feel that it is a ticking time bomb and will eventually happen, best cut off the cancer before it's there, or before it's too late. If you are almost absolutely sure that it will one day, you know, that it is a ticking time bomb, just cut it off before it's too late. And like I said, I hate it. I don't like the idea, but it's just... it's the way it is. There's no
Joy, 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 joy.
There's no way to really avoid it, if that is the case. But anyways,
Hire just posted an accurate description of
timelines.
most of what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I could talk about my MC world for a hot second.
Oh.
Yeah, because I probably should update people on what's gonna be happening with that. Seeing as I said I probably would not play it after I got Railroads Online.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was a lie. I'm still working on it, and I'm still doing things. I've actually remade all of the inclines and the inclines of every single rail in the entire rail line, which Atris can attest was very painful. Combined with that, I also completely removed my shunt yard that was next to my house and have moved it into the plains biome that the rails cut into from the mountains. And I'm building a massive one so that I have a lot of space. And it's going good. It's going really good. And I'm really happy with how it's turning out so far. It is... Oh, what?
I'm just concerned because a lot of early game trains can't go up inclines greater than like 1% grade.
Oh, no. Okay, so early game train, right? if you're doing it right, you can probably get a diesel engine as like one of your first. And those suckers could basically go up a 50-degree incline if you really wanted it to. You just probably explode halfway up. Ad break.
Ad
Okay.
break.
Poggers! I should probably go get like a Coke or something.
Okay, I can entertain for a bit, I think.
Yeah, entertain. Pogger.
I say that, and then I completely fucking go silent. Hang on, what is this that Tired has said? In regards to the whole drama ruining series thing, if I end up remotely close to problematic, do not hesitate to boot you. It's not you. It's totally not you. Anyways. Hang on. What do I have to talk about? Oh yeah, server hosting. This is a PSA for all people who run Minecraft servers. Please, for the love of God, find out if you are actually getting what you are paying for. I was hosting a Minecraft server and I was paying for 16 gigs of RAM. My god. When we checked how much RAM was being allocated, we noticed a very strange thing, right? What did you say right before you screamed ad break? I don't know. I don't know what we said. Lee?
Hey, we're back.
Where did I cut out?
Scream in chat if we're back. Anyways.
Yeah, game that is not sunken cost and is has a single person dev and is doing amazing things is called Airman.
I swear to God, I was about to say, if you're gonna say Choo Choo Charles, I'm gonna punch you in the nose.
What? No, I don't know anything about Choo Choo Charles. I've been keeping myself in the dark, so I can't speak.
Oh, I know a bit about it, though.
Oh?
I'm gonna hold you hostage. I'm gonna tell you more about the game.
Don't.
I will.
Please don't.
I will.
I want to have fun with it. Please don't.
I kid. Anyways, so the game, the world, right, is
Which one?
It's a bitch.
Oh, your Minecraft world.
Yeah. The projects and the rails themselves, right? If you had a team of people doing it, right? Less of an issue. But because I am one person, I may have amazing building gadgets, but that does not fix the problem because of the kind of work that I have to do doesn't exactly work with a building gadget. It sucks. Because I can't find the time where I'd be interested in spending an entire day filling out or digging out a massive plot of land so I can make 2 sets of rails instead of just one. And I hate that that's the truth of it. but it is, and that it's as simple as that. I just don't find, surprise, surprise, I don't find digging out massive plots of area over the course of like 3 hours of my day interesting. So I'm less inclined to do it, so I'm less inclined to work, which, if I'm not working on the stuff, there's no reason to be in the world and doing anything, so I just leave. I don't work on it.
Hello, I'm Atris Hayport, the person who hand dug.
Listen, Chief. Listen, Mr. Hayport, alright? My ass is lazy, and I use video games to escape that laziness. So if the game is making me still want to be lazy, it's not doing the game job right for me.
It's not game, it's work.
It's work. Me not like work. Me use game to escape work. Okay. Right, I have a couple of ideas that I wanted to talk about, right, for me continuing streaming.
Oh?
Because there was a lot of ideas I had that I wanted to do, but just never found the time and got put on the back burner because of better projects.
Okay.
One of them, and I know I've talked to you about this, was Barotrauma. And I still want to do that. We just have to find the time to do it. Scorpion bracelet is glowing and it startled me. Barotrauma or Project Zomboid would be big contenders for what I want to do in a series next. But there are other options that would be... Saw a glowing green thing next to my face in the pitch black room. Gamma radiation ray? No.
Nothing.
Anyways, it's... The other one I had, the other idea I had, that would be a lot harder to do, but would nonetheless probably be very interesting seeing as I enjoy playing it so much. A RimWorld series. As a more of a relaxing stream. But the problem with that is, right, I would want to have someone there to make conversation with because God knows RimWorld is not a great conversation starter.
I harvest organs.
Well, yeah, no, the thing is, that's just normal me. It's not interesting if it's the norm.
Well, yeah, RimWorld is basically a,
China, the game.
Huh? No, what? No. It's an interesting example of what happens when you actually make a game difficult. Right? In order to survive, you know, you have to do these horrible things, and the more horrible, the better.
Well, yes, the better, but you don't need to do them to survive. Pacifist nudist colonies can attest to that one.
Yeah, but it's certainly easier.
I was gonna say, not really, but then I realized I make kill boxes for fun, so...
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take a long sip for my Coke after that one.
Then again, everything is subjective. Especially
There's no morality on the rim.
There's no morality on the rim because morality is
for bitches.
Morality is a privilege. And when
I think the interesting thing is, right? I think my last colony that was actually somewhat of humane people on RimWorld was back in 2019. 2019 and 2018 was, I think, the last time I played RimWorld where I was an actually nice colony. Going forward, no colony after that did not practice both organ harvesting, using corpses for biofuel, and other things.
I mean, when the game throws enemies at you, why not use your enemies for fuel?
3 to 4 years ago. Yeah, I stopped being a good person around that time as well. I think the best way to explain how broken my RimWorld is at this point, because of how many mods I have, I stopped knowing what was vanilla and what was modded until I installed a mod to tell me what wasn't vanilla. That is how far I've gone. I've said it a couple of times before, but at present day, I believe the last time I checked, I had 542 mods. And I can guarantee more than half of them are enabled at all times. And
You know what? Never mind. Yeah, continue.
no, genuinely. What?
No, it's a different topic. Just
Oh, okay. It's how do I explain this? Dependencies and library mods. No, just generally the things I can't live without. I've grown to accustomed. I've grown to accustomed to them being in the game to let them go. But
that's sort of my problem with freaking Minecraft. I played modded for like 30 minutes when I was like 15, and I was like, nope, not going back to regular Minecraft. I'm sorry, too boring.
I think I'm in a similar boat, right? Played a bit of it as a kid, and then got absolutely stuck to it. Just entirely stuck to it. Couldn't get away from it. Didn't want to either. I think it was only around the time of 1.16, right? Coming out, and 17 and 18 coming out, that I was just like, I want to play more vanilla Minecraft. You know, there was this weird simplistic urge, right, to go back to basics, finally. You know?
I mean, maybe if they add create into the base game, but I don't know. I don't have that urge.
The thing is, right, the reason this urge exists, right, is because I played modded Minecraft from about 2015 to now. And keep in mind, that's basically all I would play. All. Until I got games like RimWorld and stuff that started taking up my time more. And around the time Minecraft was dying, I was still playing consistently, right? And when it
Okay.
revived is whenever I started dropping off in terms of wanting to play the game. Because I had already played with every mod that I really wanted to. There was no combination of mods I really hadn't tried that I wanted to do absolutely, right? So it just left me there like, huh. Well, what do I do now? And then it kind of clicked to me, just like, I want to go back. Because I remember doing so many things in original vanilla Minecraft, right? That I never do in modded. Ever. Because with vanilla Minecraft, you can't just make a machine, right? Or you can't make a big, you don't, okay, you can, but you don't have to make a massive machine abusing Minecraft's gameplay mechanics just to farm carrots. You know? You don't have to work around Minecraft, really. Minecraft works around you in modded. Because you installed the mods and you know what you needed to make it your life easier, you know?
Well, that's actually why I'm kind of excited for the new series.
Okay, before you continue, right?
Oh, okay.
While you are still making the game as it is, right? The issue with it, the issue with the pack we are making, right?
Yes.
is that we have quality of life to make the mods work together. So we still don't have that vanilla Minecraft abusing game mechanics, you know, to make things work. You're not, you know, mass producing iron golems to get copper automatically, you know?
I mean,
I feel like vanilla Minecraft has so many things, right? So many workarounds that are just beautiful compared to modded, where those workarounds aren't workarounds, they're features. I love the workarounds of Minecraft, the way people abuse the game to make it create and do the things they want, because that just shows how creative people had to get an idea working. Whereas the same can't really be said for most modded things like tech. I don't know, it's just something about it just makes me miss the way I felt about vanilla Minecraft before. There was something so... you know what? I have the perfect way to explain the differences between them, right?
okay.
Picture you are in a vanilla world, right?
Okay.
Also, welcome Mega Fight. Anyways,
Hey, Omega.
you picture you are in a vanilla world, and
Okay.
you want to make a TARDIS. You know? So you make all these workarounds to make it really cool and funny, right? Use as, say, like a nether portal inside of a blue box, right? Or a ladder inside of a you know, the old Minecraft iron door trap where it's like 4 iron doors around a pressure plate?
Yeah.
Something like that, with a ladder down the floor that takes you into a big console room or something, right? And you put a massive amount of time and effort into it to work around the fact that you can't just make a TARDIS, right? And you can do a ton of stuff with it, you know? You can build your own light system, you could build a working rotor, right, that goes up and down. You could do a ton of stuff, right? Whereas in modded, take, say, the Dalek mod, for instance, you put some stuff in a crafting table and spawn it in. You didn't really put a lot of work into it, and you didn't work around anything, you just spawned it. You didn't make anything inside of that thing, unless you picked a blank slate, in which case you are a god. But you don't, if you know, there's the easy way out. Get what I mean? Playing with modded is like playing with cheats enabled in a survival world in vanilla. Is, I think, the best way to explain it for me. You don't have to work around anything, you don't have to go throughout long periods of certain things, unless the mod is actually enforcing you to take a long route. You know?
I know I try to do that. But
You
yeah,
get what
you're
I
right.
mean, though.
yeah, I get
Playing with
what you mean.
modded, playing modded is like playing survival with cheats enabled. There's just something about it that just loses magic because of it.
Yeah.
After a certain point, of course. It doesn't immediately run out. Just after a certain point. After you've learned most of what there is to learn.
I'm just one of those weird people that enjoyed modded Minecraft more than regular Minecraft, because I don't know, it while creating an automated chicken farm was really fun. Like 18 different people did that already. And they're like more efficient than mine.
I never, here's the thing, right? I should have specified this before. I still prefer modded Minecraft. I just yearn for something new. But I've already played with most of the good mods that are worthwhile playing. Right?
You yearn for simpler times.
I yearn for something more simplistic, but at the same time, still interesting. Right? Which has left me in a position where I can't really play modded Minecraft or vanilla Minecraft because neither of them are new to me. I've always played both of them. And so I am left in a position where I don't want to play either. Because there is nothing in modded that I haven't already done. And there's nothing in single player that I haven't already done at some point. So I don't see a point in doing it. Because it's not new, I'm just repeating the same thing over and over again. It sucks. Anyways, I'm sorry for going on so long.
Oh, you're fine.
We got some really long-winded ones today, don't we?
Yes, we do.
What else have we got? You have anything?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, no.
Let's see. Want to talk about YouTube inspirations?
YouTube inspirations?
And to some extent Twitch inspirations.
I guess?
I mean that in a kind of literal sense, right? People that you watch the content of and whether or not you realize it are kind of mimicking, right?
I mean, there's the obvious one that's Markiplier, but I kind of stopped watching YouTube after a while because it's just so, I want to say toxic.
It is.
Not
Some-
just the people, not just the people creating, but the company.
Yeah. I think if I've realized it, right? There's a reason I stream more than I really make YouTube videos, right? And I think there was one really pivotal moment of watching YouTube, right, that drew me to Twitch instead at a certain point. I think the reason I wanted to get into making any kind of content, period, was because of a very small channel at the time. Someone I was actually like the 5th subscriber of.
Oh?
Called, and I've mentioned them before, Deadwater Gaming.
I remember you talking.
The same channel that my my intro comes from. My stream intro. The music, they used it as their outro. Back when they were starting. And it stuck with me so much that I ended up using it for my own because I realized it fit way too well with my intro screen.
It fit way too well with your aesthetic as well.
Yeah. And it's really inspiring to see because currently, right? Keep in mind, I was one of the very first people who ever subbed to them, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. Currently, they're at 73,000 subs. They started out making Gmod machinimas. And I was there at the start, and unironically have a comment that they responded to on one of their first videos.
Damn.
And it's weird because I think it was at that moment, right, that I realized even if I started, right, like really small, it didn't matter. because if I put enough work into it, eventually I will eventually gain some traction. Even if it's not a lot at the time. Eventually it'll become something, if I try hard enough. But it didn't really inspire me to start, it just gave me the idea that I could, and that I might actually have a chance, you know?
Sometimes that's all you need.
It's not all I needed, though. It was simply the fuse. The thing that really blew it up in my face and made me change my idea of, or pivot myself to the content I wanted to do, specifically, the one I wanted to seriously consider doing, was a streamer that I think still does stuff today, right? But I think he primarily does YouTube again. But his name originally was Zeress. And he was one of the people who were in the Newscape Pro circle, which probably no one here knows what that is, but Newscape Pro was one of the people who worked closely with people like Skydoes Minecraft and those guys. When The Office died, so did they. Well, they split off, right, and did their own thing. After a time, right, Zeress kind of split off from them as well. And I remember there was one pivotal moment that changed what I considered to be the content I loved and I would want to make. Is when they streamed Cuphead all the way through. And I remember showing up to one of the streams, right, where they were doing the carnival boss. And I think that was one of the only stream I tuned into on time, but I remember waiting every single day for one more VOD to be posted. And it was at that moment I realized, oh my god, I like streaming more, and I would want to do streaming. But honestly, I was scared of it. Like, really scared of it, because it's... Not because it was, like, a daunting thing, right? It was because of the issues that came with streaming at the time. The amount of things that could go wrong, right? Because it's live. You don't have any preemptive planning that you could really count for every single possibility of what could happen, right? So there's that daunting fear of, what if something goes massively wrong? And it's terrifying. It was terrifying, and it's what scared me off of it for so long. But then one of my friends pushed me into it, and I, started. But honestly, I don't think I would have started if it wasn't for the people I had watched myself, the smaller creators, right? Watching people like Skydoes Minecraft, right? Didn't make me want to start doing YouTube or Twitch. Watching people like Newscape Pro didn't make me want to start YouTube or Twitch. Nobody I watched made me feel like I wanted to start it, besides Deadwater Gaming and previously Zeress, now a guy now rebranded to the channel Shootski. And it's... hello?
Yeah. Yes, hello.
I've got bad news.
What is it?
Oh, there we go. Sorry, my Streamlabs froze.
Oh,
for a second there.
God.
I don't know what happened. Anyways. I don't think I would have started if it wasn't for those two. I really can't say there was any other inspiration that I had at the time, right, that actually made me want to start. The weird thing is, right, all the YouTubers I know of, I only know of because of, like, there's one YouTuber that I could probably go all the way back to and find that I could say definitively was the reason I found, like, the root of all the channels I ended up finding, right? Like, yeah, I wouldn't have found people like Venturian Tale if it wasn't for a old MC channel called Atlantic Craft covering a Doctor Who mod. Or I wouldn't have found Venturian Tale also because of a Gmod video that I had watched. There's probably, if I could remember it, one channel that is the reason I found all channels after it. And saying that now, I realize that most of my life is the domino effect.
I think that's everyone's life, but yeah.
No, but yeah, like, seriously, everything. Almost everything all of the things I've ever loved was a product of the domino effect, in a way. If you displace even one of them, I'd probably never be right here, right now. Ever. And that's terrifying, for one, but at the same time, I'm happy it is. You know? Because if it wasn't for the fact it is basically the domino effect, I also wouldn't be here. Just the same as the fact of if one thing was displaced, I wouldn't be here. The same could be said of if it wasn't the domino effect, I wouldn't be here. You know? Whether it was or wasn't, either way, I might not have been here. It's wild. Anyways, I need to stop talking as much.
Oh, you're fine.
I know, it's just,
Sure,
I feel like I'm like taking up all the time.
No, you're fine. It's not like I have anything interesting to say right now.
I have been given a message I've been given a whisper live on the air from a user saying that they think I could add more sub badges and emotes. How much you want to bet it's a graphics designer?
Yeah.
I'm absolutely betting that is a graphics designer. I'm not going to respond to that. You know what? I'm going to talk about it now. I'm going to talk about it. I've talked about it in private before. I've talked about it on Twitter. I don't think I've ever properly talked about it on my channel on a Lost topic. And it is the process of what my entire Twitch channel's branding is, right? The entire thing of my Twitch channel is that all of the art for it, right? All of the actual branding, all of the branding art, all of the emotes, all of the avatars that are specifically mine, right? I'm not talking about Atris or anyone else, right? Specifically, all of the things that relate to my channel's branding and the things I use, specifically me, for my stuff, is, as Atris said, all handmade by me. And I genuinely, right? I don't have anything against graphics designers. But personally, I intend, for the most part, to keep my entire channel and all of the assets for it completely in-house made by me. Because it gives me, one, an excuse to improve my art, and two, a way to properly express myself because it is me making it. Therefore, it's, how do I put it? Better expressed by the person, you know, actually expressing it, you know?
I suppose.
If it's made by someone else, it might not have the same
It doesn't have the same
Representation.
value.
representation and value. Because it is a third party. So it may not be indicative of the kind of person or style that I tried to give. And honestly, it can be annoying at times, right? Whenever I'm promoting myself on Twitch, and I get all these, not Twitch, on Twitter, right? And I get all these follows, and then I look just a little bit closer at what they are, right? Like what people these are. And I'm not even joking, more than 50% are graphics designers. And what hurts about that, right? One, I've stated before, I'm not going to hire probably ever. And I genuinely am probably never in my entire career going to commission art for channel assets. Unless it is a VTuber avatar, because God knows I do not have the mental fortitude to be able to take on that kind of project. But it hurts worse, right? Because it inflates my follower count. But it makes, but none of them watch.
Perhaps you should go through and moderate them.
Honestly, at this point, right? I'm thinking about just including do not, if you're a graphics designer, just don't. Please, I'm not accepting. The problem
Not
with,
accepting work.
the problem with that idea is I'd have to get rid of the Banquet Mega Bowl connoisseur
Oh?
from my bio. Because I've already used up all the characters.
Nah. Just
I had to squeeze the words in there to get it to work.
how do you check to see who's who?
Oh,
Just
notifications.
look 'em up? Oh, okay.
I can just hover over, like, I get a notification every time someone follows me, so I can just hover over them and it says, like, oh, in their bio, oh, I'm a graphics designer, or oh, I'm this and that.
You know what? I'm probably gonna go through and remove every bot follow, every...
Can you do that?
Yeah, I think you can.
I think it's just blocking. That's what that is. Yo, you want to talk about Cryptoland?
Cryptoland?
Yeah, Cryptoland. Yeah, let's get excited about Cryptoland.
I have no idea what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Cryptoland. It was a probably totally not a scam island that was being made, right? Which it has it in the name of what it was supposed to be. It was an island about NFT and cryptocurrency, right?
Oh.
It was an island themed around it that you could live in. Or live
Huh.
at, right? I think the funniest thing that I saw from that, right, was one response to a tweet, right? From the official account, keep in mind. Someone asked, what is the age of consent in Cryptoland?
Oh no.
What do you think the response was?
I don't know if I want to know.
Mental maturity should be enough. And a winky face.
Oh.
That was... that was an interesting one. That was...
Where the frick did this spring up from is what I want to know.
Oh, scam artists. probably scam artists, and that's probably what they were gonna do. But because their, reputation was tarnished into the ground because of that tweet, probably not gonna happen. Ever.
I mean, to be fair, you're stealing money from pedophiles because they're like, "Ooh, I want to move there," you know?
No, I'm pretty sure people backed out of it because of that.
Oh.
Who you were stealing money from was people who were wasting their money anyways.
Right.
That part was funny. It is genuinely, like, mind-numbing, right? And I know this might... I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm called a hypocrite, like, later in my life, right? Like, later in my Twitch career for saying this. Genuinely, I think most crypto bros, right? Who have NFT profile pics and stuff. And I don't mean this as a meme or anything. Are sheep.
Okay.
And what's the word for it? I'll explain my point, right? It was pointed out at a certain point from a video I'd watched, right? And I hadn't realized it until it was pointed out. All of these people, right, have almost the same profile picture. Right? And whenever someone, sounds off saying, "Oh, I just got my NFT," right? And bragging about it, right? Sound off if you're, insert thing here, right? You're stupid, like ape, right? Everyone in the comments basically the same thing. Like, it's a hive mind. All posting theirs, sounding off.
It's a botnet.
It's basically
it's a
bot. It's basically just a botnet of humans at this point.
Oh god.
They're all exactly the same. It blows my mind.
It's the Borg. We've lost.
It's weird.
We are the Borg. Your biological and technological dependencies will become our own.
I'm gonna probably keep saying it. It is genuinely wild. And it took someone pointing it out to me to realize that that was the case. Keep in mind, right? Whenever NFT trends at any point, anything related to NFT, my block list grows by like 50, right?
Yeah.
Because honestly, I'm trying to purge my entire Twitter timeline from anything relating to an NFT. Period. If I ever see one, I'm probably gonna have a stroke because it means I failed.
I desperately wanted it to be something interesting, and then the more and more I looked into it, the more and more that I heard from other people, it was just like, wow, this is worthless.
Oh, this is worthless. It's odd. It's an odd thing, and like I said, I'm probably going to be called a hypocrite later. I say I'm going to be called a hypocrite later in my Twitch career because I might end up the same way as every other Twitch streamer, right? Copy paste of every other Twitch streamer, and I'm fully aware of that, and I don't care if that ends up happening. Please call me a hypocrite because it'll probably snap me out of it. If I do, I've lost my way. Because I don't want to strive to be another Twitch creator or anything, right? I don't want to strive to be every other Twitch creator. I'll still, use the lingo because I love the lingo. It's hilarious. But if I'm ever like copying another, right? I beg that someone call me out on it. Especially someone who is close to me, right? Because if I'm doing that, I have completely gone off the rails of what I originally want to be, which was just be myself and see how I grow from Twitch. both in terms of numbers and also mentally grow, you know? Because genuinely, I'm coming up on my... Hold on, is it actually... Hold on. I have to go look at something real quick.
Oh, okay.
I have to go look at my channel analytics real quick. Hold on. Yesterday, right? I missed it. Probably should have said something. Yesterday, 1 year ago, I started streaming.
Damn. You really should have done something for that.
I should have. I had an idea. I was finally gonna make another best of video using every clip of everything from the last year. But I ended up not doing it because it was, by the time I had realized that I was there, it was too late. I'll end up doing something at some point, I swear. I'll still end up making that video at some point. It just will take a while. But
It'd be really interesting to see, like,
But the thing is, right? I'm going to try and put them in order. Timeline order.
Oh, okay, but hear me out. Alright? You put together a video which is just sped up footage of every single thing, every single video you've ever made. Every single VOD of everything you've ever made.
It's just, there's like 152 of those. I'm not going to be able to do that.
I know. But you're gonna start seeing a trend, right? Where, you know, it's just you, it's just you, it's just you. You see a flicker on screen and you're like, what the fuck was that? It's just you, it's just you, it's just you. Then, you know, the flicker stays there for a bit, then disappears. It's just you, it's just you, it's just you. And, you know, then all of a sudden there's like 4 people on the screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As my time on my time on Twitch has gone past, right? I've met people and friends that I don't think I'd ever have made outside of Twitch. I'm hold on. Oh,
What happened? Sora?
sorry. My sister came into my room and, you know, was screaming. Telling me to come downstairs, and I'm just like, brr. Anyways, what I was trying to say. I've made, like, tons of friends now. And that's crazy because I think about a year ago, right, whenever I started streaming, I didn't expect that, period. I fully expected to be on my own, solo streaming, probably for the rest of my days. Because that's just how it was at that time. I had, like, one other friend who streamed, and they don't stream anymore.
Basically, what happened to you is the meme of, you're my friend now, and you get kidnapped.
Yeah, honestly, that's what happened. Specifically because of Mayori. Mayori basically grabbed me by the neck and said, you're my friend now, and it... Honestly, I don't think I'd have met anyone if it wasn't for the fact that, like, they responded once. I think they responded to my offer for people to join my Minecraft SMP. And it was only them. They're the only person who responded. And because of them, I met Jinxie. Because of them, you know, they invited me to the tavern. And it just kind of spiraled from there.
You just have... Okay, so Mayori invited you. Who invited Amori? I don't remember.
But I think that whenever I started streaming, I was probably the loneliest I had ever been.
Oh.
because I've talked about it on stream before, once or twice, that in 2019, right, I was in a very toxic and mentally abusive friendship with someone that I think I only got out of around 2019 or 2020. And after, you know, finally calming down from all of that and meeting new friends, right, in Final Fantasy, I stopped playing Final Fantasy, so I kind of stopped talking to those people more and more, right? Because I didn't have the money to keep paying for the sub, and because of that, I didn't really have a reason to join them in voice call and talk to them as much, because they were all doing their own thing. So I just kind of faded back out, and I guess started playing more with my brother's friend, right? Where me, my brother, and his friend, right, would be playing games together, and at one point he said he was gonna start streaming. I was like, huh, okay. I was just like, should we do that together, maybe? And that's the entire reason I was streaming. Keep in mind, right, I started streaming like 2 weeks after the Texas freeze over. So not only was I extremely lonely because I only had really one other friend, and it was one other friend that I really talked to on an often basis, which was my brother's friend. But I had just gotten out of the loneliest period of my time because I didn't have internet, and I was freezing on a couch under a blanket next to a fire that was very, very, very slowly going out. So I think other than my brother's friend, right, I had one other friend, but we didn't really play anything, right? We just talked. That was it. Because they couldn't play any games, and it was kind of just a train wreck of a situation. And to this day, I absolutely despise 2019 and the start of 2020. March, or no, it was 2019 and 2020, and then 2021 came around and the February blizzard happened. All throughout 2020, right? Loneliest year of my life, genuinely. 2021, right, was around the end of that. Because I had met Maori, and they introduced me to a bunch of people, and a bunch of people were invited to the SMP I was working on at the time, and I'm still friends with at least one of those people. It was a struggle, because I didn't want to do anything around that time.
Uh-oh. Well, while
Sorry,
Sora's
I'm
out...
back.
Oh, okay.
I'm not out. I was just... Someone peeped into my room for a second. I was going to say, right? I'm 1 year on, right?
Yeah.
Since I started. I am a much happier person, for one.
Yay.
Also, hello, Jinx. I'm a lot happier now, right? I'm more motivated to do things. I've actually got projects I'm passionate about again, and the effect that that person had on me in 2019 is finally wearing off, and I'm happy. I'm confident in myself for once. And actually, I don't know how to explain it, just motivated to do things and hopeful, yeah. I think that if you go back and look at like my first few streams, right? Whenever I got my new mic. And even in my first stream, right? My first few streams and after I got my mic. I think about until Maori started appearing in my streams, right? You could tell that that was the person I was, right, was not a very happy person. Right, there was a very, very sad energy around me at the time. And it was very clear that I was not very happy. But I don't know. I think streaming is honestly the best thing that I've ever started. And it's hilarious because multiple times over the course of streaming, I nearly stopped. Both because I wanted to, and sometimes not because I wanted to, but because I was being forced to. There was a point where my family, right? Because I was streaming whenever they were yelling at me to do something, right? They would threaten to basically say, okay, you're not allowed to stream anymore. And on that note, I have to say, I gotta get off stream. Because there's stuff that requires to be taken into the house and my family's home.
I mean, timing couldn't be better. We just hit the 2 hour.
Yeah. Well, anyways. I'd like to thank you for watching. I've been joined by Atrus Hayport once again.
Can I just say real quick, you have some of the most heartfelt moments, and I constantly feel just not inadequate, but like self-reflective on like, wow, you are uninteresting. Not you. I'm talking about myself.
You are one of the most interesting people.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I don't have like these really nice, heartwarming stories about, you know,
Hold
streaming or
no. I'm gonna hold the music for a second. Hold on. You want to know why? If you genuinely think that, it's because they haven't happened yet. You're currently living them. That's how I see it.
Or I'm just so ungrateful that I don't even notice it.
No.
Oh.
No.
All right.
If that is the case, you'll just need more reflection on it, you know? Genuinely take a look back. And compare it now to how it was. Anyways. One last try.
Yes.
As I've said, thank you for joining me. I have been joined by Atrus Hayport. I hope you've had a fantastic day, fantastic night. I hope you continue having a fantastic day or night. I've been Sora Comic, signing off for the night. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.